whole story started many weeks ago when we all had a timeout from COVID-19. We started to say, well, how can we safely make an environment in the presence or continued presence of COVID to let kids get back to play? And so we started as a team developing a plan. And that team was really inclusive of not only individuals in sports medicine, but at the Wolf Center at UPMC and infectious disease, and even administrators were able to contribute to come up with what we feel like are some inclusive guidelines to help the community take the next step to getting back to sports. In order to continue to do the things that we love in a thoughtful and safe manner, there are some guidelines that help to mitigate or to lessen the risk. We talk a lot about concussion, and so we wouldn't imagine sending a football player out onto the field without his helmet. In the age of COVID, we're all going to wear essentially our helmets as we move forward for that added protection. One of the guidelines talks about wearing a mask. Right now, the crew is far enough away from me that I don't have to have the mask on while I'm doing this interview. However, in situations where people are close, or especially indoors, we do recommend a mask as much of the time as possible. A mask like this for an athlete is quite easy because it can be pulled up over the nose and mouth and put in place, helping to protect the spread, prevent the spread of respiratory droplets, which we know spread the virus, and easily brought down when they are going into the game. We have a youth playbook, a high school playbook, and a collegiate-based playbook. The youth playbook is meant for youth sports, travel teams, community rec leagues, and even has sections on tournaments, competition, practice, which obviously at the youth level looks a lot different than high school. And so we've written a specific set of guidelines for high school and then collegiate athletes, which each step of the way looks a little different. I do think there are different considerations for sports. And so when you think about a contact sport, such as wrestling or even football, versus a non-contact sport like cross country, there are different considerations, and those are written into the guidelines. I think the takeaway right now from a personal standpoint is that we really need to be smart and not scared. Being smart means taking the appropriate precautions and moving forward, not being cavalier, but rather being prepared, because we're living in a new time. Hopefully, it's just an abbreviated period of time, and at some point we can all look back on this and say when we used to, but for right now, we do need to take those appropriate precautions.